Hi guys, welcome to this week's Urban Uncut, and this is a very special episode. This is the first time I have driven a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. In fact, it's the first time I've ever driven a Rolls-Royce, which some of you may find hard to believe, but the daunting prospect of driving a £500,000 car almost is actually quite scary for me. Even though I own it, technically, it's still pretty daunting. So why am I out in the Cullinan? We are almost doing like a relaunch of our Cullinan Widetrack. You'll probably remember 3 or 4 months ago, we launched the Cullinan Widetrack, and the reception was kind of like, it was like 50-50. You know, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people thought that it was like way outside our comfort zone. It was out there, it was aggressive. But there was some criticism surrounding the front bumper, which I would probably be ignorant to ignore, because I do take comments on board, I do take customer feedback on board, and I didn't just want to be so pig-headed that I just turned around and said, you know what, it's our design, if people don't want it, they don't have to like it. So it set me thinking, and we just had to do something about it. So we have added Revision 2 to our Cullinan Widetrack program, which basically incorporates everything that people liked on the program: the wide arches, the wheels, the stance, the rear spoilers, the rear bumper, all absolutely fine. But what we decided to do was create a dual front end. So you've got the aggressive look that we've already done, which has got a big front splitter, it's got bars and intakes on it. And then we've got a more refined version, which is what we're just about to show you now. It's got softer intakes, it's got a smaller front splitter. The lines are so much smoother and maybe more accommodating for someone that's a little bit less out there than the first version. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We're going to show you through over this episode exactly what we've changed, and hopefully at the end we'll have changed the opinion of everyone on the Cullinan Widetrack.
Right, now this is a stunning colour. It's kind of like Porsche Crayon Grey.
Yes. Yeah, everyone's going to say Nardo Grey, but Nardo's
darker. Yeah,
darker.
Very, very nice.
Oh, it's quite cold with the back door open, isn't it?
It's not like roof lining, perfect. Right, so, brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan, torn apart.
Yeah, look at that. So
this is probably the part of R&D that I don't like. But no, it's part of it, isn't it?
It is. So this would be happening anyway in terms of its build. So when these come in, it's like a bit like building a house.
Right.
So this is probably going to take us a little bit longer because we're doing the R&D with the new front bumper.
Yes.
But probably 3 weeks end to end.
So let's talk about the front bumper, because it split opinions, didn't it? We have talked about it on the channel before. I personally really liked it. Sales show that people liked it because, you know, we've sold 2 cars. We've sold how many kits now? 8, 9?
Yeah, globally. It's been going out there.
And I think it's a great, aggressive-looking kit. But Simon is not arrogant or ignorant enough to not take people's comments on board, especially when it's from potential customers who say, I love the back, I love the sides, I love the wheels, the front might be a little bit too aggressive for me. So we have a Mark II bumper.
We've got a revision, which we're still doing number 1.
Yeah.
With a number 2, because people, I think we still like the front and what we did, but we had some reservations, and when you hear those comments, then if you're honest with yourself,
if you had the reservations first and then you hear it from outside, you kind of think
that's what's provoked it, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So we thought, well, we spent £250,000 R&D, let's spend another 50 grand and make it 300.
No Christmas staff party this year at Urban Automotive.
So we've kind of it was a bit chiseled before, wasn't it? It still is aggressive.
Yes.
But we've just reined it in a little bit, and I just think it is so much more us.
Okay.
It really, really is.
I'll be really interested to see what people who have already got our Cullinan kit, see what they think. You know, whether they want the revised edition or whether they're happy with
I prefer what you did first time round, boys.
Because, you know, I've said this plenty of times, the Cullinan is a Marmite car anyway. You know, it's some people love it, some people hate it. I personally love it. I love it with a kit. But if you don't like the Cullinan as a car anyway, you're going to hate it even more with a big, aggressive body kit. So yeah, interesting. So this is about 2 weeks away, you think?
We're a couple of weeks. We're currently manufacturing the mould off of the
pattern. Yeah!
That wasn't even
100%.
planned. That's why you actually did deliver them. That was good. Well done.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we're currently producing the mould off the pattern. So it'll be a few weeks away before we see that. And it's not just the bumper. Obviously, we've got a different splitter. We've got 3 different intakes. So we've not just said it was just that.
Yeah.
While we were at it, we had to do the whole thing to keep it in keeping, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I think it's good. I think it is good to listen to feedback. What's the point in just being, no, that's our kit, that's how it is, and that's it?
I think that's the problem, maybe where a lot of people do go wrong, where they don't invite in the criticism and the opinions.
Yeah.
It's up to us to choose what we do and don't take on board, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to seeing that then. I love the Cully. It's cool. Very, very cool thing.
I think you're going to love it even more when you see revision number 2.
Perfect. Cool. I can't believe this is the first time Simon has driven a Cullinan. He is going to be living the dream in that thing.
I can see what everyone sees in a Rolls-Royce now. Like I say, it's the first time that I've been in this car and I'm just absolutely blown away by the sheer opulence, build quality.
You cannot hear a thing.
It's quiet. Even with our 24-inch wheels and the profile of tyre, which we've reduced slightly, it's still it's amazing.
I love Rolls-Royce. I absolutely love the brand. I love all their cars. I think after Lamborghini, it's my favourite marque. They are absolutely stunning. And what they've done in the last sort of 10, 15 years, bringing the cars more to the sort of younger generation with like the Wraith, the Dearn, they're just incredible. Starlight roof lining, it's literally like riding a cloud.
I can really see, you know, what the attraction is with this. I mean, everyone on the road is just looking at this car, they're driving past it and they're just like eyes wide at just, I think we've nailed this. I think we really, really have nailed this design. It cost a lot of money and revising things is not normally in people's makeup, but yeah, I'm happy that we looked at it, we went back to it, and we made something that we thought was good even better. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start on this epic journey, the standard Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Now, my man here said we should never modify it. So we're kind of got this ongoing toggle.
I kind of feel like I need to correct you there. That's not what I said. Now, I'm a massive, massive Rolls-Royce fan. I love the brand, I love everything about them. I just think when you modify them, it should be a little bit more subtle. Lowered wheels, black pack, maximum.
So what you're basically saying is our previous attempt at remodeling the Rolls-Royce Cullinan was a little bit too ostentatious?
It was quite aggressive.
It was very aggressive.
It was quite aggressive.
So as standard, This car, obviously, chrome grille, chrome sides, chrome windows, 21-inch biscuit wheels.
Which looked so
They look
small.
so small. This car is obviously Marmite from standard. You know, it's literally, it must have a 50-50 split on people who hate it and people who love it. And I'm not sure whether it's a opulence and money thing. It's liked by people that prove that they can afford it. But it certainly is a chalk and cheese car.
The comment that seems to come up quite often is money can't buy taste.
Yeah.
But
London taxi.
It's usually from people who have never driven one. These are by far the most beautiful cars to drive in the world. In fact, I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to say this is the best driving car in the world in terms of comfort and luxury. It's incredible.
I've just driven this car for the first time driving a Rolls-Royce, in fact, and I'm just blown away.
They are stunning.
And I can see why people who have the money want to invest in this car. Now, contentious issue for us, it's the first car that we did that we kind of got a real split opinion on, and yeah, I didn't really like it.
I mean, I was, the whole way through, I still like it. It is quite aggressive, but it is so different to the standard car.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to do something so different. Again, it goes back to the Marmite thing, you know, the fact that it's such a Marmite car anyway, then you add a really big, obnoxious, aggressive kit, it's going to make it even more 50-50.
I think we've got...
I was trying to convince myself that I loved it.
Of course, no, that's right. And then obviously we take the comments on board, and what we decided to do was basically revise the front end of the car, because everyone said they love the rear, they love the wings, they love the carbon, the sills, the Widetrack is just wide enough for it to not be so out there, the stance, the wheels, but it was just the front bumper that basically made us think, do we need to just wind it back a little bit?
But you can take that constructive criticism, can't you?
Yeah, of course,
You're not arrogant enough to think that you're going to get it 100% each time. But also, when someone's giving you constructive criticism, instead of just, oh, that's money can't buy taste, blah, 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 but just saying, love the rear, love the size, love the wheels, the bumper's a little bit too aggressive from me, and from people who are likely, our clients that are likely to buy this car. We did have a couple of people who said, look, I love, I've had 10 cars from you. This is the first one. I'm not too sure I could fly the urban flag on it.
That's it. I mean, I wasn't taking any of the comments. It's a London cab, it's this, it's that. They're water off a duck's back. But it was the constructive criticism that made me think, you know what, maybe we've got to cater for a multitude of end customers, whether that be, the rap star in LA versus someone that's a little bit more refined in the UK. So what we've done is we've decided to basically just redo the front end, so we've got 2 revisions.
So like the Defender almost, you've got a design pack with standard sort of arches,
and then you've got a Widetrack.
And some people like it without the roof light bar, or you can have all terrain with roof light bar, roof rack, side box, side ladder. So you've got 2 different types of look, sort of modified subtly and then aggression.
Yeah. So before we take you through this journey, the first thing to do is get rid of the contentious part, which is the bumpers. They've got to go. First to go on is the rear spoilers, which is the upper and lower spoiler in visual carbon fibre. On top of that, we've got the rear bumper, which is split. It's basically body colour at the top, visual carbon at the bottom with 2 billet tailpipes. Then we've got the arches. Widetrack, 25mm extra on each side, with a lower sill with visual carbon fibre.
And then to fill those arches, 24-inch alloys, but what style?
I think it's got to be the UV5.
Has to be.
Has to be the UV5. Then,
last of
all, the big reveal, the front bumper. We've reduced the size down of the front bumper slightly, so it makes it a little bit less aggressive on the front end. The splitter is slightly lower in profile. The front intakes also reduced down in size with a little bit less carbon fibre. The front grille is reflected in the lower front grille of the front bumper as well, so we get this gloss black feature running through the middle, We've actually thought about this a hell of a lot more than what we did the last one. This is really, really where the money is on this car. I just think it looks amazing now.
I'm so happy now. I'm so happy.
You happier?
I'm happier. I did like the first one, but this is just, to me, it's just so perfect. And even more so in this colour because you can see the details and like how you've changed the bumper.
Yeah, I mean, when you look from the side, when you look from the front 3/4 where I am, the profile of the front just sweeps down underneath.
Goes with the shape of the car.
It's got some resemblance to how it came out of factory, whereas before it just had a more aggressive chinny front end, and I think that we've just refined this to a point where, will this be more popular than the other bumper? I don't know. We've sold 9 cars, so it's not like we made this decision based on lack of sales. You know, we've made this decision based on feedback and me feeling like I have to do the right thing by our customers and our fan base.
A different type of client, maybe.
100%.
But the central grille to coincide with the main grille,
yeah,
that's my favourite feature now. It just looks right.
And the fact that we did actually put one in carbon to start off with, and the guys in the workshop said, actually, we should repaint that. We should do it in black so it matches straight through the middle, and it's got kind of like that, it keeps the Rolls-Royce look to it.
Absolutely.
So there you go, guys, the evolution of the Urban Cullinan. I want to hear your comments. Do I? Don't I?
I think you need to hear a bit of feedback.
I think I do. So I'll tell you what, just get in the comments. Let me know whether you prefer version 1 or version 2.